So Stadia, Pac-Man. Pac-Man is coming back from 1980s.
He's back.
He's back. Guess who's back? Pac-Man's back. And getting it. What do you call it? A battle royale? No way. Couldn't imagine. So, a 64-player version of Pac-Man called Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle is coming out, and everyone's excited about it because it's coming out on Stadia. So this is coming out on
Stadia. I mean, they
Stadia.
haven't said anything else, but they've been clear to say first on Stadia because we know that it's going to be coming to other platforms. Probably.
What
not
I love about it
after.
is, I feel like we're burying the whole lead of it. Like, so it's coming out on November 17th. I feel like this is like this weird thing where it's like, hey, cool, Pac-Man is on Stadia. This is a way for them to test the game because they can follow the one single game that will be going on Pac-Man. Like this,
And
how the hell would there be more than one single game going on? How many people would be on Stadia at any moment in time?
I know. And the thing is, they're like, okay, it's a limited time demo. It's available in probably just one more day after the time this goes up. But it's like, okay, click here to play it, and you play it in your browser. It's like, nah, can't because it's not available in our region. It's like it'd be nice just to be able to just try it, you know. But honestly, this trailer was really cool. This game actually looks way more fun to me than Mario 35 or Tetris 99. And I know I'm alone on Tetris 99 front, but
Yeah.
to me, this actually looks like a really cool implementation of it.
Yeah, and you know, I've always said that I think that this is the way to do this stuff. Like take these kind of titles and blow them out into this kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know, Stadia doesn't make sense to me in the sense that, you know, Xbox, you can get away with saying, hey, we're progressively rolling out xCloud across the world because xCloud's not the main game, right? But with Stadia, like you're introducing something in a global environment. So people talk about this Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle. Great, I'm going to click on it. Oh, no, I can't use it because Stadia is not available in my region. And to be honest, when that stuff happens, I just go, I'm just over Stadia. I'm a Stadia. I just don't even give a shit about it.
Well, it's also $20 US. So it's not like
it's crazy.
So the barrier to entry is super high. Not only is it a Stadia game, not only is it a Stadia multiplayer game, but it's a pretty substantially priced game for what you'd think. Now, I'm not saying this should have been a free game, but $20 US, which is like $30, $35 here, or whatever it is.
It's about $30 here, yeah.
That's pretty pricey for something that you don't know if you're actually going to like.
It's insane. It's insane.
And the fact they've given a demo is at least good, but I mean, to me, this makes sense to be like, you know, free to play with stuff that, you know, that you can purchase and cosmetics and stuff. Would be the perfect game to do that model. And you need a player base for this game. This isn't like a game where,
correct.
If there's players or not players, it's okay. I can still play it and still have fun. It's just maybe not as populated online as I want. You need those people. But about the actual game itself, so you can like invade other players' areas, it seems, and have to defend yourself. It just looks really cool, like the way they've connected all the maps. It's like one giant, maze, but then all connected in the different exits and stuff. And there's a few different modes. Apparently, the spectators can impact the game for the remaining players with power-ups. I wonder how that is. I hope it's closer to something like Bomberman as opposed to something like Mario 35. But I'm sure it's closer to Mario 35. But yeah, it's such a cool idea. The trailers are really, really good. This could, I think, be a big hit if it was on anything else. And things like Stadia does need to try things, right? If they want to save the platform from the current death path. But seems like I don't know if this game is going to move the needle in any way until it hits another platform.
Yeah, look, you know how maybe too much, but I love the business side of gaming, and this just doesn't make any sense to me, what they're doing here. Like, you know, I should be able to see YouTube clips and, like, hey, it gets me to jump into Stadia. Like, the way that they've organized it makes no sense. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's so many barriers to join Stadia. And I think, like, if you're going to launch something like that, surely you just launch it worldwide. Like, get it ready in beta and then launch it worldwide. Like, they're burning so much marketing capital on these releases, and there's so many regions that you can't get it, that you just turned off on it. And it just creates the negative buzz around it.
What was that? So Super Bomberman R Online was the Stadia one, and was that was that also kind of that was a battle royale as well? And
yeah, exactly the same. 64
player. Have we heard anything about that game?
Nothing.
Since, yeah,
it's out, and people actually said it's really good.
I'm sure it is.
Like, it's just like there's so many barriers of entry. It just doesn't make sense, you know. Like, for me, I think the way that Nintendo done it, and other platforms, like, if you actually think about it, every single platform has structured up something where it's like, you pay me something, some nominal amount, $5 a month or whatever, and I'll give you some free stuff to get you in. And they've often gone down the route of these multiplayer games because they're very, like, have a high engagement loop, right? So with Nintendo, you've got Mario 35, that's going to go away, but Tetris 99 is still there, and it seems like almost a permanent feature now. You've had stuff like Fall Guys on PS4, you know, Xbox, obviously with Game Pass, there's so many things coming and going in that space. For me, it's like, from a business sense, it makes no sense. Like, do the deal with whoever you need to, but get like the Pac-Man Mega Tunnel and Super Bomberman R as a, hey, you're paying $5 for your subscription to Stadia. They just come with it. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you kind of go, oh, you know, maybe like I'll like fire that up and play that a bit. That sounds kind of fun. Get a free 1 month trial or something like that. But
do we 100% know that's not the case? Because I know they've said it's priced. Because
it's not. You have, like, the stupid thing about Stadia, it's like free, or it's going to be free, and then you have to buy the games extra.
No. So
or have
there's also
the pro membership. So you're also paying for that, and then still buying games.
No, but there is a library of games that you do get access to. It's a small library, but that's why I'm wondering: do we 100% know that it is not in that library?
Bomberman online in that library,
or
is that the question?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
It's more like we know that it's priced, but I just don't know 100% if it's in there. But honestly, I don't even really care. But I'm just like, I've heard that there is. Like, as part of that,
I think it is. I think it is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is, because I just checked Stadia Pro. Now, if you sign up, do you still get it? And no joke, I just jumped on the Stadia website, so just like stadia.google.com, and there's like broken images on this site. Like, how's that possible? How is it possible? And also, I know I'm being like an asshole in this episode, but the height of the images is not even. How do they stuff these kind of things up? Like, to me, this just doesn't look like people who care about a platform. Like, literally, dude, they've got the height of these images, and there's some of them are different. Some of them are taller than others.
But
like, how does that happen?
But Google has a history of supporting all their projects, you know, and never killing anything off.
Yeah, exactly.
And never killing anything off. What?
So yeah, you're right. This probably sounds like it will go back in part of the subscription, but the subscription's not like of the level of, the other comparable ones. It's like $9.99 a month US for Stadia Pro. Like, that's a lot of money, man.
This whole Stadia thing, so
it's
such a shame, because I actually there's a lot when they first and I don't know what they have and haven't implemented yet out of their original like feature sets they talked about, but I do remember when they first announced it, there was some cool stuff, and you're like, hey, they're approaching this in a way that, you know, initially it's like it didn't not make sense, if that makes, you know, like it didn't. I didn't go, this is stupid. I go, this is interesting. There's some stuff I like, some stuff I'm not sure about. But then just they've made so many questionable decisions. And the fact that they launched out of the gate, you know, I guess like almost like a beta period with less than probably half the features that they said was going to be with it. Just, I think, killed everyone's interest in everything. And the fact that, it's not available in the majority of the world probably at this point.
And I think that is such a foolish way to do it in the modern era. I think you could get away with that even 5 years ago, but I don't think you can now because the whole regions thing, people don't really care anymore. They just kind of assume everything's available worldwide. In the Western world, I should probably point out. Like, I don't think people are assuming it's going to be available in Africa. But in the Western world, if you have like a decent internet infrastructure, which, questionable for Australia, but, like, you shouldn't just go, oh, I have to check a list to see if it's available here. If this is your main offering. And ultimately, what I don't understand about Stadia is Google kind of built everything that they do around being free. Gmail, Google search. And yet, like, they released this platform and it's like, it's all about like, pay $10 US a month to get Stadia Pro and all this other kind of stuff. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me in a way, like the way that they've built it. Like, you think you'd build it more around advertising or, other methods of trying to monetize it, which is what they've always done. So, look, I think, we'll be calling last drinks on Stadia next year. I just can't see them holding this platform up. Like, Google are more than happy to kill things. And it's a shame in the sense that I actually think where this makes way more sense is if they did a deal with like Nintendo and, basically had like Nintendo Stadia.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Pac-Man and Nintendo.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Stadia as a platform. I think from a technology point of view, it's like exactly what Nintendo can't do, all that space. So to me, there's like a really interesting marriage there. Like, if you could get Stadia native on the Switch and then have, for AAA games playing on the Switch, like that's super smart to me. Like, super smart. But yeah, Stadia by itself doesn't make any sense. But yeah, going back to Pac-Man, 100%. Imagine Pac-Man on the Switch, like, because it's kind of tapping into those retro players as well. So I think that's where it would be at. But yeah, do you think this will be success for Stadia?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, let's get into some smaller news and more frustrated consumers.